Hello everyone, my name is Janji and I will be starting a video series about um, how an average player with a charged blade can do against all monsters in Monster Hunter World. Um, I will apologize in advance about any noises my birds will be making occasionally. It's something I cannot control. Um, but right now what I'm going to do is a breakdown as to what I'm going to be doing in these videos. So basically I will start from the very lowest to the very highest difficulty of monsters in the game. I will be starting with Chagras and probably work my way up all the way until the last few monsters that have come out, which I believe Furious Rajang, Brachydios, and Kobolds um, and even Arc Temper Namiel, which is the most recent one. And now, in terms of my experience with the game, um, I have a good foundation understanding of the game, and my weapon of choice is going to be the Charge Blade. So this type of videos will be specifically um, directed towards people that are, kind of questioning their ability to use a Charge Blade, um, or those people that are kind of afraid to use a Charge Blade, or want to learn how to play the Charge Blade. Um, with this video is just gonna be mainly me fighting the monsters using the Charge Blade, and I hope that you guys can learn as I uh, go through the monster list. I will try to give out tips as I fight. I will show off the builds at the end of the video. So without further ado, um, let's go ahead and start with Chagras. So I don't have um, a investigation for Chagras. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the optional, which is right here. And the thing to keep in mind is when you fight monsters with charge blades, it's a little bit different because you have to manage several resources, files, charging your shield, charging your blade. Sometimes um, you have the option to go from Savage Axe and just straight up SADs. It really is up to you. In terms of the food, I'm not going to be eating for Bombardier, which is a skill that helps you with the damage of your files. What I'm going to be doing is doing what standard player would do. We'll go for the chef's choice platter, because not everybody will have their foods unlocked. So I'm just doing what an average player would do. Probably go for um, the chef choice platter and just pay with their money. In terms of two pieces of equipment that I'm using will be the Rocksteady Mental and the Temperamental. It's really up to you. If you have the Rocksteady, that was great because it's going to help you to mitigate a lot of the impact of what the monsters can do, the roars, and it will help me do the first few fights a little bit quicker, though it's not going to work too well with as the difficulty increases with some of the other monsters. So bear with me as I um, start here with Chagras. Now I could spawn next to the area that he tends to start at, or I could just spawn at the camp, so we'll see. Okay, so we started at the camp. The first thing I do is pick up the AZ ration, and I have it equipped on my top bar because I tend to just run a lot, go through the monsters, so it's good to have that easy reaction to just pop it in real quick. As you're about to run out of stamina, it will automatically reset the stamina bar and you continue to run. So he's over here. I'm gonna go ahead and use my Rocksteady. I'm gonna pop my seed. Just a little bit of damage. Again, his screen doesn't really matter because we'll be able to snap you out of it as well as the attacks. Looks like our cat went ahead and paralyzed him, so I'm going to use an SAE. And as you can see, I position myself right behind him because the SAED is more like an attack that's sort of this really thin cone in front of him, and you know, starting from this side of the body will be the best. Over here, I got a little knockout. Okay, I think next what I'm gonna do. He kind of moved out of the way. I should have trapped him, but that's okay. So in the beginning, he's already on his way to eat something. We kind of stopped him there in the beginning, but that's okay. He will occasionally go over here. Since he stopped over here, I'm gonna go ahead and take the time to go ahead and do that. Okay. Now that he's eaten, he will actually rolled a little bit, but go ahead and use the Savage Axe for this a little bit. Should stagger him. That's what we want. We want to sort of stagger. So we managed to break apart. That knocked him down, which is good. He's almost dead. Okay, looks like. Let's see if we can slam him here. That was too far. That's okay. Let's see if we can catch him. Okay. And that's Chacras. And since this is the first video, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the build. If you care about the time, that was the time, 3 minutes, which is not bad. Here's the equipment information. That's what I'm using. So the skills, the weapon I'm using, and that's the augmentation, which is health regen. Go ahead, pause it. I'm gonna go to camp because I'm gonna go ahead and continue to the next monster, which it's gonna finish. It's going, I believe it's kulu, so we should be good. We're gonna go for kulu next. Now, things to point out in that fight. One of the first things that we could have done was probably slam him, but we did not. Slamming is something they added new in Monster Hunter Iceborne, the newest expansion, which allows you to grapple onto a part of the monster, and if you grapple onto the face or close to the face, for some monsters I think it's on the shoulder. I think Rajang is in the shoulder, but for the most part it's in the face. You grapple onto the face, and if he's not enraged, you can actually manipulate his position allowing you to slam the monster to the direction um, it's pointing to. His face is pointing to. So we're gonna go ahead and eat the chef's choice platter. And we got lucky there. We got a feline bombardier, so we're gonna do more damage with our files. First things first, always go to, whoops, sorry. Go to the hunter notes. And the hunter notes will show you who's next. Well, show me who's next. Kulu. So, we're going to post a quest. Again, I don't have an investigation on him, so I'm just going to use an optional. We'll go from there. And then after this fight, I will go ahead and talk a little bit about the parts that I'm using, why did I use the specific build, and hoping to do the rest of the videos as just one fight and go from there. Please let me know if you want me to do these missions, I'm sorry, not missions, these videos with commentary, or if you just want me to just release the video with no commentary and maybe talk over it, or maybe not talk at all. Please let me know. Really appreciate it. So this is not good right off the bat that we have him here. So we're gonna do is we're gonna poop him out so that we can go ahead and we're gonna get rid of that. And what we're gonna focus on Kulu is his face. Try to focus his face. If you can't, that's okay. Now he's going to take out his rock, and our stuff are going to bounce off, so this would be a perfect time to, oops, I thought we grabbed his face. So he's kind of pointing, okay, there we go. So we fall, and we broke something. We're going to use our Savage Axe because he is a monster with a very small body. We were able to knock him down there. Just gonna charge the plasma real quick. Take out the Savage Axe. As you can see, for being a little guy, he does have quite a bit of health. He just took off like nothing. Like, yeah, I can take a punch. He just walks right off. That means we did enough damage to push him out of the area. It's a little bit unfortunate that we were not able to keep him here. So now we're just gonna have to chase on them. These little bogs right here, the weekly bogs, are good to keep your stamina longer. Okay, and of course our Rocksteady mantle's off. So now we really have to watch out. Go ahead and take out the Savage Axe, because when we get the chance, and that's a little bit unfortunate. Gotta reset him. He's actually a rage, so right here, Latin power will come in handy. Just always watch what he does and go from there. I'm gonna guard point that. That one was a little bit easier to guard point because, you know, he kind of telegraphs that pretty good. See, like right there. And I think that got rid of. Let's see if we can get a knockout here. No, but that did almost finished him. So he's just gonna walk away. And I have to apologize. I'm gonna have to chase him. I could have flashed him actually, but he's walking pretty fast for. Oh, he's still too far. For me to flash. Kind of missed a chance there to trap him, but it's okay. We were able to keep him here. Should be able to finish him here. If we don't, I'll be pretty surprised. Okay, there we go. Gonna return to HQ this time. Okay, and again. So he has a little bit more health than Chacras. I was able to finish him no problem with the build. And again, I'm using the very same build. Here's it again. Light Break Charge Blade, which is the charge blade for Raging Brachydios, which is one of the most recent installments in terms of monsters. It's like a subspecies of the regular Brachydios that's already in the game. Again, health regen augmentation to Pearl Mantle and Rocksteady Mantle. In terms of the experience, I've been playing Monster Hunter for altogether about 800 hours. And so again, I do have a good solid foundation understanding of the game. I have quite a bit of uses for the Charge Blade. But as you can see, I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm not, getting perfect guard points. It's just waiting for the monster to react to where I'm at. And once I find an opening, I tend to just strike with normal attacks until, little by little I start charging my files. And, little by little as you start attacking, you'll start charging the files. And then you can unleash whether it's the Savage Axe or the SAED, depending on, how the monster is it's positioned. So why am I using the armor that I'm using? As far as the pieces, I went with a 3-piece Teostra is a way to keep my purple sharpness as much time as I can. Because Master's Touch is the set bonus for a 3-piece Teostra. And this is Teostra Beta Plus, so this is the Master Rank Teostra. You can also get the bonus from the high rank Teostra. It's a 3-piece as well, and you can get Master's Touch out of it. What it does is it prevents your weapon from losing sharpness during critical hits, which is the reason why we build the Critical Eye, which allows us to get 40% affinity at level 7, and we've got 3 levels of Weakness Exploit, because Weakness Exploit allows us to gain an increase in affinity once hitting the weak spots of the monster. And this is what helps me to get almost white sharpness throughout the end, pretty much most of the fight, and allows me to keep the purple sharpness as much as I can. As far as the other pieces, I went with a Damascus Male Beta. This is a standard for Charge Blade users for the majority of people's builds who use Charge Blades, because it's overall an excellent chess piece. It comes with 2 points of Um, it comes with 2 points of focus, and it comes with 3 slots: a level 4, a level 2, and a level 1 slot, which is incredible. It's a very good chest plate. Again, it's almost essential for a charge plate because the focus helps the charge bladers to gain focus files a bit quicker. Um, and of course, you can add the level 3 with the gem, with the jewel, which will get you the level 3 focus. In terms of the boots, I went with the Garuda Greaves Beta Plus. As far as these boots goes, they're really good because it comes already with a critical eye, level 2, and it comes with um, a level 4 and 2 level 2s, which the 2 level 2s help a ton because that's when you can add either two levels of critical boost. You can add 2 levels of weakness exploit. You can have a focus in there, a jewel and a magazine jewel. It is super flexible, so that's why I went with the Garuda boots. You can mix and match if you prefer another headpiece, then you can switch it and put something else, and then you can, if you don't have the boots for Garuda, you can use the boots to be Teostra's boots, because once you're done with the, your story mode in the Iceborne expansion, then you will have already faced Teostra, so it will give you the access to just face Teostra enough times to go ahead and get everything you need to get your beta set out of it. Damascus will be opened up pretty early on. For the most part, the materials that you will need for Damascus will be some materials that you just gather in the Wildlands, Guiding Lands, and I said Wildlands. Gonna get roasted for that. Wrong game. And some other materials. I do not remember off the top of my head, but you get it pretty early. It's a very, very good chest plate. Get it as soon as you can unlock it. And this is the most, I guess, new player friendly set that I can get. I can probably, get a set lower than this. But, hopefully you have enough time in the game that you've built something like this. And even if you can't build something like this, the parts are available. The only thing that you could be struggling with is the jewels. The charm that I'm using for this build is an attack charm plus 5, which allows me to get a big boost to the attack. Again, Rocksteady temperamental pluses. I have classes unlocked on them. You don't need that, but if you do have them, I have protection jewels on them. It just reduces the damage taken from, because damage will go through for both of these in certain locations. Always on Rocksteady, sometimes the temperamental depends. Most of the melee attacks will go through the temperamental, and that's why I put the protections. Protections, some people don't know what it is. It basically it's a chance to reduce the damage taken, and depending on your level, it increases the percentage of the damage reduced, of the reduction of the damage. So if I have 2, every time I have a temperamental, I'll have 30% reduced damage taken while it's active. So if it procs, I will take 30% less damage. And if you're wondering what I went through, I'm going with, is Guardian Experts, a Guardian attack. The reason why I'm going for Guardian is because if you don't have to be great at card pointing with a charge blade to proc this. You can just time it correctly by holding R2 or whatever your guard button is, and you can actually proc this So just make sure you kind of time it well, and you can proc this without using a guard point. So I'd still use this because it's a huge power increase. It's 15% power increase in your attack um, for just randomly blocking an attack in the right moment, which it's a good reward for those who become patient and learn the patterns of the monsters, because once you block it, you get this huge bonus and you can just, you know, uh, attack with that much more efficiency. Artillery is very important because that's where the damage of your files come from. You can really extend the damage of them. So you can see at level 3 will get an increased 30% of power on each file, which is it's huge, especially with the amount of files that you come with the magazine jewel. And it comes in level 2s. If you don't have level 2s, then you will have to have level 1s. Now, level 1s were or still are one of the rarest jewels that you can get, so hopefully you do have these. If you do not have artillery, you can always switch the attack charm for an artillery charm, which is much easier to acquire, and that will get you your 3 levels of charm. And I went with the charger to get the level 3 focus, 3 joules of critical, 3 joules of tenderizer to maximize my actually 2 joules of tenderizer. Somewhere in here I have a weakness exploit. Probably. Oh, it's the Kaiser. Let me see. One of these. Okay, so the band braces have a weakness exploit level 1, so this is huge. That's why these Kaiser braces are really good. Iron Wall and Magazine. Iron Wall essentially is guard. It very slightly decreases the impact of attacks. So with charge blades, once you have your shield, your shield charged up, you put all your files that you could in the shield, and your shield is red, showing on the icon that it's red, so it's all charged up. That's a level 2 guard. It's equal to a level 2 guard. With having a level 1 guard jewel, what that allows you to get is it's level 3, which greatly decreases the impact of an attack and reduces stamina depletion by 15%. What we're looking for is to greatly decrease an impact of an attack for charge blades. So it blocks, for the most part, most of the attacks, which is incredible. And reducing the impact allows you to transition from a well-placed, a well-timed guard point into either an SAED or just a super elemental discharge, which will almost guarantee the KO depending on the monster's condition. And that's why you want the guard, because it will, with the shield being charged up, will leave you at level 3. It's really important to have this. Not necessary if you don't have an iron wall, don't worry, it's not a big deal. It's just if you do have it, it will, make you more efficient. So again, all of these, if you don't have all of these, that's fine. Work with what you have. What I have is just what will make you a more efficient fighter. But it doesn't have to be this way. Charge blade. So let's talk a little bit about that, because if you're starting with the charge blade, and you've made it through the main campaign, you've made it through Iceborne, then you probably want a good direction as to what weapons to work towards. The reason why I'm using this specific charge blade is because the charge blade itself comes with blast, and right now blast is very strong, and this specific charge blade will come with white sharpness, will also come with some purple sharpness, which is incredible. The purple sharpness damage increase is really solid. And with the Master Stud, you can get up to 20 hits before it depletes, or maybe more. I could be wrong. So that's why this weapon is really good. Not only that, but it also is an impact file because it's a blast, and it comes with a 2 slots at level 4 and level 3. That's a huge help. Which was allowed. This is what allowed me to get most of the most essential jewels into the charge plate. Excuse me. It comes with 0 affinity, but it doesn't matter. This weapon has an incredible amount of raw, as you can see, 1080 raw damage, and again, the sharpness is what we really want to emphasize in. And then the blast is just incredible, and you'll randomly see 300 procs, 300 damage procs every so often. Even if the monster is 1 star to blast, you will get those pretty often, which is what makes blast really dangerous for the monsters and really good for the hunters. Now, one other jewel that I want to talk about before I finish this is, now magazine is also a very uncommon jewel. Magazine, what it does is it increases the file count by 1 more. So instead of having 5 files at the start, you'll have 6. I believe it's 6. I could be wrong. Let me go check real quick. It basically increases your file count by 1. And the more you have, the more damage. And if I'm not mistaken, that is if it lands, that is an overall 15% damage increase. If you land an SAD, because there's a whole nother file that's doing tons of damage, that's going to land on its target, and it just helps you to become a more efficient fighter. So we got the daily bonus. Now I'm gonna go to the training area. I'm gonna confirm that. I do apologize for the walking left and right again. This will be a series, so the first series we've already taken out 2 monsters, so I'm hoping I can take down another monster on the next video, and hopefully you guys enjoy this. I just want to make sure that, I show that to play Monster Hunter, you don't have to be great. You can be an average player and still have a good time. And I really enjoy playing Monster Hunter, so hopefully I can get this message delivered to a lot of you players, and hopefully get the fear out for those people that want to use the charge blade. It's not a scary weapon, it's an awesome weapon to use, and it's my favorite. So to correct myself, it is 6 files, so it goes from 5 files to 6. And yeah, that is it. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video. If you want me to fix something, my volume's it's good. If it's too high, please let me know. The quality is good. If it's not good, please let me know. Again, if you want me to do something else, I can try something else. Maybe try different monsters, different builds. Maybe start a new character and go do a playthrough from level rank 1 all the way up to master rank and get through the entire Iceborne campaign. I can do that as well. Just really flexible right now, so if whatever you guys want me to do, I can try it out. Again, hope you guys enjoy, and see you guys soon on the next video. Peace.